Alright, this is gonna be, I guess, a separate kind of thing. I don't think I'm gonna make it like a public video. Maybe I will, I don't know. Just gonna be tactical analysis basically. So War Thunder just recently released this new kind of like game mode kind of thing. It's basically like the tournaments that they usually hold, except that it's now a um you now can queue up for the game basically like a normal kind of a random battle kind of thing. So this year is the one versus one uh, air to air gladiator tournament kind of match. I'm gonna be going over 3 games that I played. The first 3 that I've ever played. I've never really done this before. There was one time I did where there was a tournament I entered. It was a one-on-one, and we were flying the Spitfire Mark 9, the premium version. There were like 3 different premium versions available in each tech tree, except for the British. I think the British one was the normal tech line. Can't remember which Mark 9, but it was one of my favorite aircraft, so I took part in that. I didn't get very far. I actually did win 1 or 2, but this is a very more skill-based kind of event, and you kind of need to know a little bit more about the final points of dogfighting if you want to perform well and if you want to fight against other players. In the first 2 matches here, I don't think my opponents were like really hardcore realistic air players, because the second one definitely didn't know what he was doing. But the more you play, the more practice you get, the better you become. And in the third match, I'm gonna go over. I actually lose, and that's the one I'm most interested in. But we'll just have a look here at what goes on. So in this one here, now, like in the tournament matches, the way that these dogfighting tournaments go, there's a timer, right? I think it's like a 25-second timer. So there's no hit-ons going, basically. That's what they want to deter. Now, technically, the fight is on, because right now, we are free to maneuver, but we're not allowed to use our guns until the 25-second time limit timer runs down, all right? But this is air-to-air combat. Right now, even though we can't use the guns, we can still jockey for position. So that's what we're trying to do here. Now, we go into the merge. We're both level. I have the preset maneuver. I want to turn right, basically. Getting into one of the 2, like 1 circle, 2 circle kind of dogfighting theory. I've never actually like studied the 1 circle, 2 circle, the difference between the rate fighters and the turn time fighters. I don't know what the exact terminologies are, but I haven't studied that. After this, I'm gonna look into it because I think it might be a little bit more helpful now in game. But here, I have a preset maneuver. I'm just gonna bank right first and then see what happens. Here, this guy, he feints left, I believe, and then goes up, and then goes right. So right there in that maneuver, that's already given me the edge, because he's burned energy going left and then right, and he's gone vertical. Well, technically, it's a valid maneuver to go vertical, and you'll find out in the 3rd video when somebody does it right. But right here, I'm already gaining a little bit more degrees in my turn against him. At this point, you can see he's still turning into me, but I still have like the lead on him, basically. Now, the guns are still not active, so I try to stay behind him, and that maneuver right there wasn't conscious; it was unconscious. And in the 3rd dogfight, I make the mistake of committing into the turn in front of him. Right, in that situation right there, we can just rewind it. Where is he? Oh, I guess the replay system is still bugged out. Let's see if I can get back to that situation there. Yeah, okay. So coming into here, I get the lead here. I technically can get guns on, but the weapons are only active, if I recall, right after we do the 2nd merge here. So I can't shoot at him yet. But here, what happens is that I stay behind, right? I don't continue the turn in front of him. That I do this in the 3rd dogfight where I continue the turn in front of him, because I've never been in like a proper 1v1 situation, realistic like this before, where it's equal fighters, same fighters basically, similar combat tactics, not dissimilar. But I make the unconscious decision, and it's the right decision to stay behind him. All right, when I'm continuing executing my maneuver, I stop turning at this point here, and this pays off. So I get behind, I had the lead advantage, the angle advantage, whatever you want to call it. We go up, and here he gets in a shot. I kick in the right rudder here, and turn over. Come to think of it, maybe it might have been the better decision, but to go in front, I'm not too sure. But we'll see. But this one was the better of the three fights. He gets a shot. I kick right rudder, so I deflect it off. And as we come back into the second one, I get a shot off. I miss. I haven't played realistic in years, especially fighters like this. Usually these days I just go in, meme with bombers and whatnot. But I take a shot here. I'm a bit short. He gets another one off, so we're trading now. I get in, miss. Okay, this camera angle isn't that hot, so go back to default. So at this point here, start using the flaps, the combat flaps. Usually the way I was taught is that you use the combat flaps at the top of your turns, basically, the vertical maneuvers. So you start deploying them here, or you deploy them just as you're going up in the vertical, and as you're diving in, you close them, because if you're going too fast, you're going to rip them off. I still need to work on my discipline for using the web. You can't see that here in the replay, but I was using it a lot more than I should have. You need to time your web in aerialistic, and you can't always go all out, because then you're gonna start burning your engine. Now, as we're getting low here, I'm keeping mind of the terrain. I was hoping maybe he had forgotten about it, but he didn't. So he knows what he's doing. So we're getting the rolling scissors here, and I'm utilizing the rudder. And in the past, I've never actually used the rudder to this much effect in air realistic. It's only since I've been starting to play arcade, I've been more conscious of using the rudder in the turning engagement, basically. Usually in realistic, I only use the rudder when I'm at the top of a vertical maneuver and I'm low on speed. And if I'm still in a turning maneuver at the top, I kick the rudder, just tap it once, and gives you a boost in kind of like the turn angles of quite a few degrees that can help out. But in this match here, I've used the rudder to maneuver the aircraft out of shots, get more deflection, and I'm now using the rudder to get more turn time, basically, in the turning engagement. So right here, I've managed to slot in behind and back into the rolling scissors. He's slowing down. So with that slowdown maneuver there, he's burned all his energy. He can't recover. I kept mine up. I made a dive, if you saw there just now, that almost gave him a shot, but I was confident that he wasn't going to be able to make the shot. Maybe it's a very risky maneuver, more luck than strategy in that case. But he's in that maneuver there where he throttled back. I'm pretty sure he throttled back because he's slowing down, or maybe he's burned out his engine. I'm not too sure. He's lost all his energy, and I kept mine. I actually made a dive, so I still have my speed. So I'm going to go into vertical here, and I'm about to seal the deal. He can't catch up, see. Make one full circle, get back into the scissors, and that's the kill shot. So quite a few mistakes, and in this dogfight and the third one I'm going to show, I'm going to need to look back and figure out, when you're going into the merge, if you already have the lead on him, do you go behind or go in front? In the third dogfight, I find that going in front was the mistake, but there may be other variables that factor in, not too sure. So the thing about this game mode is that you actually get 2 chances at it. So after this, you get another go, another round basically. But in this match and the second one, both players just leave. Not sure why. Maybe they're not aware about it and they just automatically click the return the hanger button. But yeah, there is a second round basically. You just need to stay until it's completed. First round is completed. You get sent back to the menu and then you get a chance to go again. But this doesn't happen in this one. So yeah. So this is the second of the 3 dogfights. This guy that I fly up against, I think he's an arcade player because he makes quite a lot of mistakes. And he dies pretty fast, as you can see in the timestamps here. This one's a pretty short match. But just going to show it nonetheless. So we go in here, we get into the merge, and like I said, preset maneuver, I'm going right. Now he takes some time. He's still flying straight and then turns right. So I now have a little bit of a lead. Going in a slight descent now. I've got my lead. This one here, I make the decision to go in front instead of behind. This one, it actually helps me out. Probably because he makes a lot of mistakes. I think he might have been able to get around me if we continued to turn and if he didn't go full vertical like that. But from here on, it's just a turning chase, basically, until I manage to get guns on it. Get quite a lot of hits. And then splash. So, not too sure what was going on there. I think the biggest mistake was when he came out of that vertical maneuver and was going to dive. He shouldn't have turned left because that just set me up for this chase here. And he's gone. So yeah. Now the third one I'm about to show. Now this one's more interesting because I lose twice. And therefore, plenty to learn from here. This guy definitely was more experienced because compared to the first two, he managed to do things that never quite seen before. So, fast forward here a bit. Okay, so here, what he does is that he goes for a slight climb, and he does this in the second match. In the second round of this, I'm quite impressed with the maneuver I pull off because it's something that I've never actually thought about doing until I watched a video with a F106 pilot who talked about his training dogfight scenario that he was in the F106. And at first, I didn't think that it would be possible to pull such a thing off in War Thunder because, like I said, in realistic matches, it's very rare to get into a one-on-one where it's a similar aircraft like this in completely isolated position. But I take a page out of his book and follow his maneuver and actually got me results. I didn't win the dogfight, but it's something, it's a new trick that I've added. So this guy goes vertical, I don't chase with him. Right up until here, this was probably the mistake. I should have just gone in a straight turn to the right, don't go up like a yo-yo kind of thing. But I do. And I've burned energy, whereas he already took the time to gain some altitude. As we come in here, we're guns on. I think at this point, the problem is I shouldn't have continued turning to the right because he gets in behind me here. In my mind, I was thinking because he's leveled off and he's coming straight at me. The guns haven't activated here. That's why we're managing to go like this. But I'm thinking to myself, I already got an angle. I'm already in the turn. If I continue to turn, I should be able to get behind him. That didn't work out. You can see there, he gets quite a lot of turn in that. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like he was using flaps or anything, so it should have been an even maneuver. This is something I'm gonna need to study and look back on. But yeah, he gets the angles on me here. I kick the rudder, barely missed that shot. Now in the rolling scissors, And he still gets the angles on me, so I kick the rudder the other way and try to turn. Now at this point here, I'm trying to use the rudder and the elevator to do the what in arcade usually gets you the tightest turning angle, but in realistic, I'm not too confident with using that, so I'm only using it for a few seconds here and there to get some turn time in. Don't think it really helps, but he still has a superior position, and right now he goes completely behind me. And yeah, it's game over here. I don't have enough energy to shake him off. And he gets enough damage into me that I lose control at the end of that. So that was the end of the first one. Now the second one here, I get some results from the maneuver that I pull off, and I'm quite happy with it, so it doesn't win me. Oh, let me just go back there. Okay, so what the maneuver is that I know that he's gonna probably do the same thing. He's gonna go in a slight climb up. And considering the fact that I got outturned by this guy, probably because he's more aware of his aircraft, probably using the rudder and flaps a lot. Not too sure the replay catches all of the details because it's been wonky for quite some time now. So basically what the maneuver is that the 106 pilot does is that what he did is that he drops, right? He drops altitude. And what he does then is that using his speed that he gains, go into the vertical. And that, in theory and in practice, as you're going to see here, actually gets you an angle on the enemy, basically. So I'm trying to even the odds here, knowing that he can turn a little bit better because he probably utilizes some aspect of the aircraft I'm not too familiar with. Or he's just better at reading the energy states between our aircraft. That's something I'm going to have to look back into. But I go into the dive, he goes into the shallow climb. And as we get into the point where we would usually merge in a head-to-head, I then go straight up. So he's still continuing his shallow climb. He's probably thinking to himself, what is this guy trying to do? And right here, I go very steep. I just go straight into the vertical and try to turn. He's a little bit confused. So he turns into the left, trying to figure out, trying to maintain his energy, basically. But because it's a very confined area, and we didn't start that far apart, in terms of energy states, it doesn't really matter because I already closed the distance to the gun range here, and he's trying to get out. Now the problem here that happens is that the timer for the gun safety kind of thing is still on. So I actually managed to get in behind here and managed, if I had the ability to, could have taken a shot right there, but didn't happen. And it's only about now that I believe the timer is off, and now we're getting back into a dogfight, a rolling scissors kind of thing. And I'm still got some angles on him here. Yeah, he's probably using his rudder a lot more. Let me see if I rewind it there, because he makes a maneuver when he's at the top of his vertical turn. He gets quite a lot of angle on me. I'm not too sure how that is. Just slow it down here. At this point, I recall that I'm not trying to get the lead on him anymore. I'm trying to do what's called a lag pursuit. So I'm no longer turning at the maximum rate. I'm trying to conserve my speed and then follow him in, because I'm pretty sure that because he went straight into the vertical and did this turn, he can't have that much speed or energy left. Didn't work out quite the way I thought it would. Got close. Yeah, I don't think the replay system catches all of the flight surfaces, how they react, because it doesn't look like anything's really moving here. And I'm pretty sure he's either using flaps or you can slightly see the aileron turning here, but that's not. I don't think that's how it was in the game. It was a good shot. Yeah, gonna need to look over this again. So yeah, that's there's that.